I'm just gonna wrap this out because I know there's other people who have been here before. For some reason, every time I'm like literally somewhere by myself, there are always three or four different types of people. So there's like the insecure white girl who looks at me who just is like, oh my God, she's wearing a dress. Because I can't describe to you, like, Karens are very familiar with like gay black men because they're comfortable, right? Like, they pose no threat. But being like a pretty brown woman, black woman, right? You literally pose a threat because their like husbands are attracted to you. You can feel how you feel, but there's something about you just being there. It's just like so bothersome. So, like, yeah. And then there's this other thing that happens where there are people who are in, I kind of feel like they would have to be unhappy relationships because you'll always have like one of the people looking at you. And you'll be like, I don't, if it's like, you'll just be kind of like, well, maybe not you, but me. I'll just be kind of like looking around, like I'll just be eating my food or whatever. And you'll kind of like, you'll just kind of do a glance around the room, right? And you're like, oh yeah, other people are here. And then you'll notice that like some people are kind of like staring at you, and it feels so awkward. Because or they'll just do things where they give you these like micro aggressive looks. They'll be like okay, if I'm me, right, and then this is the other person, and I was like, yeah, it's weird, right? That shit would make you so uncomfortable. It's like, bro, find anything else in the world to look at besides me. Like, I know I'm nice to look at, but like, Jesus, gone. Like, you can't just go out staring at people. Like, and then there's always this like thing with like amongst like black women, especially, and a lot of like Afro Latino girls do have a really good point here because they were like basically they made all these videos like, oh, these like black American women, they hate us. They always do this shit. That's actually true. Maybe not for everybody, but for like a very large percentage, that's true. They really have shade, and it's as insecure women. Like they're just like the bus driver, bro. Like this bitch rides the route every day, and she didn't even know where the stop was. Like that sounds very unrealistic. Like I don't know. All I can say is if you start breaking public infrastructure for other people, and like that's why people always wonder why society's bad. Like people have no dignity. There is no black community at all. I also want to like really be clear about that and say it again. There's like individual people who have committed their individual sins, mostly men who've done really awful shit. Like if only y'all heard the stories of rape that I've heard, like there are real people out into society who are committing these crimes. People are when women are sitting here saying like I have been abused, a lot of y'all be like, well, it wasn't me. Oh, it's not me. It's not gonna happen to me. Uh, here's the thing: like, there's only one society, and the abusers are still out here. So, okay, let's say they're not abusing you. Good for you. They're going to find somebody else to abuse by hook or crook. Like, and now everybody has turned to crook. So it's people pretending like they're like decent, and they're not. Especially like when you really be serious right now. Like go talk to real women in society and ask them like, okay, how many like really expensive dinner dates have you been on? Like some women are going on expensive dinner dates. Don't get me wrong. Some women are. Not all women, some women. Most of the women, like 80% of them who are not married, are legitimately not going. They're going to like, remember when we talked about that girl who went to the Chili's and she was all like, oh, like, don't bring me to Chili's, I'm not cheap or something. Bitch, you didn't have to show up to the Chili's if you didn't want the dinner. Like, people are making like these like one ups on everybody else, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you are interested, if you are a woman and you are interested in going on a date with someone, going to meet somebody, you need to make him pay for something, a coffee or something. These dudes are talking about I'm only gonna go on walks in the park. Well, nigga, you can go on a walk to the park by your goddamn self. Like I don't know, like why? You're like if they're not even willing to pay for the meal, then what? Like what are we doing here? Like why? There, women cost money. That's it. Like if you're gonna spend your money on rent, right? Isn't that true? Okay, like you're gonna spend your money on the phone bill because those are utilities in the same way that be serious, like women are too. And men keep being out here talking about like, women are not commodities. Gay men for sure have a price. That at this point in society, they're women too. Like, so how is it that people are really being serious about trying to like degrade and it's I'm not, and that's why we have to like start at like bare minimum here. It's all women. The women that you think are ugly, the women that you think are poor, the women that you think are uneducated, the women who are like ditzy, the women who have no job, the women who have jobs, the women who have high body counts, low body counts, and whatever it is, the women who are bitches, the women who are however you want to categorize all these women with all these like character profiles. Here's the deal, like women were born women, okay, and they cost money. And broke niggas deserve no pussy. I was like, be smart. Dude, I have learned that lesson the very, very hard way. And it's not, it feels so bad because you want to be like empathetic. You want to be like, oh, I see you as a human. I feel like wherever I am in life, I don't know, like, they're not humans. They're just broke. They're like broke bags of cells who deserve nothing. Like, I probably wouldn't even give them like communication. Only I guess if you have to. But even then, like they're not. They're like literally like not kind. There's like a point when you pass a point of like you're just like because you can be like not kind, right? Where you're like I'm not kind, but also like I'm not going out making life worse for other people, right? Like I'm just minding my own business, just kind of like focused on me. That's not the case. Like it's like day after day, you will hear a story. She said that, oh, I saw her catch the bus. Oh, she wore this dress. Like, bitch, keep my name out your mouth. Like, stop. Just worry about you. Like, take a picture of yourself so that I can comment and be like, you're ugly. Because I'm going to say it, like, every time, every day, every day. Like, it's never going to stop. I'm going to get my bots to say it too. We're all going to say it. So everybody just feel your feelings, have what you have, take the insult and move on. Like the rest of it, just take your insults with grace. Maybe that's what this is. This is the take your insults with grace PSA, right? Like it's okay. Like everybody is not going to be Jordan Dunn. Everybody is not going to be Lori Harvey. Everyone is not going to be me. Like we can't all be greats. So you just have to be where you are. And where you are is fine. Where you are is fine. Where I am is fine. Where you are is fine. Where everybody's at is fine. And you don't need a like diddle song to tell you that. Right? Like you don't need a little, it's nice to have a bop. I like that little Lizzo quote too, but I don't like Lizzo as a person. I'm anti-fat people. So like, I'm sorry. Like I am not a Lizzo supporter. I don't think Lizzo dying from obesity is funny. I think that Lizzo should try to preserve her health and her life because her life is valuable. And if she doesn't lose the weight, she's going to die of a heart attack, and we're all going to watch, and it's going to be really sad because all the little girls who felt special are now going to feel therapy because they feel the loss of death, okay? Like, it's not a nice feeling when you lose your hero. So, yeah, I don't really know. I guess maybe also that was, like, kind of the point of that. Like, I really thought for a moment I shouldn't put out my death albums, but I feel like I will because I think that people are joking when they're misunderstanding my feelings of revenge and hate. Like, okay, let me tell you guys a story. So, when I was doing after school, I worked with two girls. There were two little white girls in second grade, Carla and Martha, right? Now, Carla hated Martha, but to this really, it was to an extent that was like out of this world. So, like, Martha would say something, she would be like, Karen, you did something. Martha slapped that little girl so hard she flew across the pavement, and we literally had to put her in therapy. And I was like, Martha, you can't go around slapping people. And she was like, I hate her so much. Okay, so after she gets past the violence, then she starts drawing hate pictures of this little girl. She drew a Barbie on her face and called her Martha, and then she scribbled it out in like red colored paper, and she marked the eyes out. And it was just like, okay, this hate is, I've been there. I felt that hate. But I didn't know. I don't feel like I was in second grade. I felt like I was way older when I started to feel that amount of hate. But she was like real. She was in second grade and she was like an extra hater. Like she was a hate to a whole different level. Like it is a normal like emotional response, but also like you have to get to the root of like why you would feel that much anger. And this is why I keep talking about jealousy as a song. Because, like, let's be serious. Like, if I could trade places with Jordan Dunn, are you fucking kidding me? I would. She literally opened Laquan's show. And don't get me wrong, because she fucking deserves it. Like, she's the 7th most beautiful person alive. Like, she deserves it, like, for sure. At the same time, like, I want that. I want to close the show. But, like, the way that I console my wants is I say, like, I did not get the show this year, and I'm taking the loss. But there is always next year. So, right? So now I can work this entire year to try to get it next year. I feel like one of the problems is, for some reason, especially in the black community, we live in a society where people keep telling people they can't do shit. You can literally do anything, good or bad. Like, I've done a lot of hateful shit, like really, really hateful shit. And I was successful. Like, I did not get caught. That's why I don't go on the internet talking about it, because when you do evil shit and you get away with it, you don't want to incriminate yourself and go on the internet bragging about how you did it. You know what you did, and like you could just walk away knowing what you did, and most likely there's going to be other people around you who saw what you did and giggled too, and then like now we all have a little secret. Drink to that. Keep your little secret, the dirty little secrets. Okay, like. That's why you have to talk about tea and shade and champagne, because some shit will make you so mad you have to drink. If you don't have the whiskey, you might just shoot somebody. Okay? That's why untherapy people should not have weapons. Like, that's why we have drill rap. Like, shit that I would have slapped somebody for, people are like shooting. Like, there's steps to shooting and killing. Like, you don't just start by killing people. Like, you gotta like work your way up, you know? It's like so strange. I don't know. Maybe people just haven't lived in society long enough. They just don't understand. So maybe I should. I should be the person to start with the album of rage. It is a feeling. I'm very revengeful. Like, I don't just take my losses and then suck them up. Like, I take my losses and then I equate them to justice in real life. By hook or crook, I'm gonna get the last laugh. Like, I don't care. Sorry, this is called revengeful, and I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet. Like, sorry. Also, I feel like maybe that's another thing which becomes very difficult, right? Like, I feel like one thing I'm starting to understand that has been like a blessing in disguise of growing up around Karens and like understanding Karen norms and values and stuff. Bro, like some of the passive aggressive, like revengeful techniques are very useful strategies in getting what you want. It makes sense. Like it's cold blooded, but it's also pragmatic and will lead to results. So, yeah, I don't know. So I said I wasn't gonna release that, but I think I will because, yeah, I'm past it now, right? But like, don't get me wrong, because I definitely felt that way. In a very uncomfortable way. And I felt like, also, it just would have been so awful to like, see, when you're in a feeling and like you actually feel that feeling of rage, and that's your real state at that moment, and you haven't had any time to process it, you start acting out shit. Like, so when, like, if someone like would look at you the wrong way, you might actually just slap them or just like throw something at them because you were so mad. Like, you're just so mad. And you'll tell people, they'll be like, I'm upset right now. They don't understand. They'll be like, why are you upset? It might be something small, like, oh, you know, my purse dropped today. I'm mad the whole day, right? They don't understand that. But you're pissed. Like your whole day is like not the same anymore. Like you get one email that just brings your mood all the way down. You're just like, FML, like this is the worst. I hate it here. Like, no. And like yeah, I don't know. It's just there's levels. There's just so many levels. There's so many levels. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.